What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. This video is actually going to be kind of a fun video to make, I think. And what it is we're going to go out and just kind of polish up some of my tail wheel skills before climbing into the ag wagon for the first time this year. From what I understand, the ag wagon can be kind of a squirrely airplane to fly. Well, not really fly, but to bring in and land, especially on a runway instead of a grass strip, which is what we have here. But before I do that, we're gonna go out and just kind of, polish things up a little bit, make sure that, I have full control of the airplane. Just kind of dial things in to build the confidence before I climb into that thing for the first time. And what's different about that one is that once you're in it, because there's only one seat, you only have one seat, you don't have anybody behind you or beside you that's going to take over in case things, get a little crazy or whatever. So once you're in it, you're committed. And so what I want to do is just kind of build my confidence and make sure that I got everything dialed in before I do that for the first time this year and before, ag season, before we get rolling. And so that's what we're gonna be doing today. So it should be fun. Let's see how it goes. All right, guys, so this is the plane that we're gonna be taking up today and that we're gonna be doing the training in. What this is a 60s model Citabria, I believe. And what's unique about this airplane is it doesn't have any flaps. So that's gonna bring a lot more challenges as far as trying to bring it down to the runway. I won't have that steeper angle of attack. I won't be able to slow it down as much because I won't have as much lift and float, I guess you could say. We're gonna have to approach this one a little bit different. It's gonna be a little bit more squirrely, I guess, but we'll find out. It's going to be a little bit more of a challenge, but it's going to be really good because once I get this dialed in and this nailed, then I should be able to hop in the ag wagon and be ready for that, because the ag wagon is only one seat. So when I hop in that, I better be ready to go. So we'll get this out. We'll go around the pattern. We'll probably start doing some grass landings first. The grass is going to be a lot more forgiving when we start out on that, and then we'll transfer over to the pavement. And then we'll see how all of that goes, and then we'll go from there. So let's get after it. All right, let's get her moving here.
Go do it.
A little bit of wind, but right down the runway.
Yeah, no, that's good. It's about 320, I think.
Pretty nice morning, isn't it?
Yeah.
What's nice about this plane is I can see right over. I can see right over the hood here. So we're just gonna try wheel landing, kind of establishing that.
Yeah, let's kind of establish that first. How we're gonna do that, and then let's move over to the runway and
kind of like what we were doing with the Super Cub.
Yeah, probably.
Just kind of wheel land that, and then bring the tail down and kind of establish that kind of sight viewer, I guess.
Yeah, and then I think on approach, let's make sure we have as soon as you turn base, we should be at about 80, and then let's be a little bit higher. We don't want to drag it in. Let's be up high enough so we can have that, just like you're pulling down onto a field.
Okay.
And you're going to be level. That's kind of the attitude you want to have about when you're landing. And for a wheel land anyway, probably. And you're probably going to have a little bit of a tail down, but let's just see how it goes.
Okay.
We'll have a pretty good little headwind today, so it
should slow down a little bit.
Slow us down a little bit.
All right, let's do a little bit of a run up here. That oil temp is coming up there. Check the mags. Left mag. Good drop. Right mag. Good drop there.
Induction heat, I suppose you want to call it.
Yeah, induction heat. Got a good drop here. Oil temp's good. All the gauges are good. Good oil pressure. Fuel pressure's good. All right, I suppose we better make a call, let everybody know what we're doing.
Yeah. When you're coming in for landing with this, do you use your trim?
I do, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been kind of trying to establish that angle and then trim to where it's just, I don't have to hardly hold the stick.
Yeah, because it makes a difference with this airplane.
Water City traffic, 6303 November is going to be taking off runway 30. We're going to be staying in the pattern, Wofford. Well, let's give it a shot, huh?
Yep.
Okay, you ready?
I'm ready to roll.
All right.
Let's do it. We don't have to do a big, we just started shortening up our pattern a little bit last night. If we're just doing touch and goes, you can pretty much get a few hundred feet off the ground. You can start your crosswind and then downwind, and then we can get a couple more landings in.
Yeah, sure is a beautiful morning, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Our altitude, yeah, I should try to get up to at least 2,800.
Yeah.
So those lights are where? Right up the...
we'll just shoot for the 1,000 foot. I think that's where they're at. Well, they're a little bit before that, but...
So about right here, I'd reduce your power to about 18 maybe, and then start your turn. We're a little low, so go ahead and start your turn right away.
Okay.
And you don't have to descend so quick. Let's slow it up to about 80 first, then otherwise we're going to be dragging this thing in again.
About 80 right there. Establishing 80, looking for those lights. I think they're right at that 1,000-foot marker there, so we'll just shoot past that. Oh, there's some right here.
Yeah, there's some right up here, but there's also...
The Pappies, right? Yeah, I see them. They're right at the 1,000-footers.
All right. Stick forward a little bit. See, then you can bring that. Once you slow it down, then you shouldn't have any problem. You got room to go, or do you want to pull out on the runway and just...
We'll pull out on the runway.
Yeah.
But that wasn't bad.
No, that was good.
Just slow it down here. Yeah, that wasn't bad at all.
I think it's partly psychological, grass versus the runway. People, I suppose we better probably back taxi a little bit, huh?
Yeah.
Just be on the safe side.
A little break here to get that turned around. Yeah, that was good.
That was good.
I just need about 25 more of those.
Yeah. You want to do one more in the grass, and then we'll move to the runway?
Yeah, I think so. I want to establish that getting the wheels in, stick forward a little bit.
Yeah.
And just letting her settle in.
So that's where, at the 1,000-foot, let's reduce power right at the 1,000-foot mark.
Okay.
Right there. And then once it's about 45 degrees off your shoulder, then start your base.
Okay.
So that'll keep us in a little closer. And
all right. You're lined up here and get after it. Got power coming back. Go.
2,500 is good for climb.
Get a little altitude here. I like how this trim is.
Yep.
Hey, there's 1,000 foot.
Yep. And what else?
Established on 80.
It
We're
seems like we're about 28. That's about right. And so I'd start about right here, Jeremy. I'd start your base right at the end of the runway.
Holding that 80. Back a little bit. Nobody's coming.
Wind's coming up a little more all the time. Oh, that's good. Well, don't get too much of a hurry to get that thing forward. Take off again if you want. Well, your control is good, from approach to landing to, to take off again. The directional control is fine. Let's try one on the
runway?
On the runway, yep.
Okay. Pushing forward a little bit, I was like, oh, don't go too far,
You're just gonna... It's the right idea, to bring it forward, but just nice and easy, just bring it up. It won't take much to bring that tail up.
Yeah, I realized that right away.
Now on the Hawk, you'd have probably barely brought that tail up. I mean, it reacts so much slower. Just remember, just the slower you are, the better off we're gonna be when you're touching down on that runway.
Kind of hold that attitude and let her settle in?
Yeah, I mean, just like we're doing. Maybe I'll watch a little bit this time and see about what speed we're touching down at.
Coming in at like 80 and then just,
you can be, once you're getting down there, you're going to be down to 70, and then I would guess touching down in that 55 to 60 range. And then, don't try to over-control it, don't just really get things rolling on there. Just kind of go with just react only as much as you need to,
Yeah. Not too bad.
Nope.
A little bit better.
And so the speed was about right. I wasn't watching, doggone it. I'm going to watch it again this time to be sure. But once we touched, it didn't want to fly. She didn't want to keep on rolling like it did yesterday.
I felt like I was a little more controlled than trying to coming in too fast and all over the place.
Yeah.
Didn't bounce. At least not very high if it did.
No, we didn't bounce at all.
I think every pass we do, the wind picks up.
I think it does,
a little bit progressively, so every pass is a little more challenging.
Yep, it's out of about 320. Just a little bit of a right crosswind. Well, it's doesn't matter. The guy's got to be able to handle it, and all the. You'll take off one morning and you'll go out and spray, and you're going to come back, and the wind's going to be. You'll leave when it's 5 miles an hour, and it's going to be 25 when you get back. That happens every once in a while.
Yeah, especially out here.
One thing I always liked about this airport was that you could land that thing. You know, if it was a 90-degree crosswind, you could land on the grass. You know, if it's really strong.
All right, here we go. Got that 80. Like that second one was a little high, so I was like, oh well, better just give it some gas and try it again.
Man, it's pushing us a little bit more to the left now. I was watching your deal. We were at about 60 when we were touching down.
I think I should have just had a little more forward.
Well, tell you what, Jerry, let me try something this time. I'm just kind of curious.
Okay, you want the stick?
I'll go ahead and take it, yeah.
Okay.
Pull that trim back just a little bit. What am I at? I'm about 17, so I'm gonna turn in right here.
How's that trim feel?
We're about 80. Feels pretty good.
Okay.
I want to come in a little bit higher.
Just kind of dive into it like you would.
No, not dive. We're gonna still try, even though we're gonna be a little higher. We're gonna try to just have a constant descent of about 80 down. It's hard to see from back here, but
I can get out of your way here a little bit.
Yeah, about 80. Hold this thing off a little bit at plenty of speed. Let's just see how far we can hold this thing off before it.
That's about 65.
And then power all the way off. I'm going to get this sucker going. Trying to hold that stick forward, but kind of going all over the place. Anyway, I don't know. I think, you know, one of the things I think you're doing, I just realized I kind of did it too, but once you get down, you're down there and get that power all the way back. One of the reasons why I think it keeps rolling is because we still got power in when we're. So I'll just, you go ahead and do it this time, and I'll just kind of watch it and see.
Okay.
Now this thing will make a good tailwheel pilot out of you.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. That's why I want to get good at it.
Yep. Oh, you will.
Yeah, it's quite a bit different when you don't have flaps.
Yep. It's just kind of weird when you're sitting in the back trying to get that correct attitude. I mean, I could have had my tail up even a little more. You know, you want to touch down kind of about the attitude that you're going across the field. You know, if you're going to do a wheel landing.
Yeah. I mean, right now that's just I'm comfortable with doing that. Like, you know, that Super Cub is a lot easier because bigger wheels, obviously. It's a little more forgiving, I think.
Yeah.
And it slows down a lot. You can go a lot slower, but it has flaps too, so you can almost just drop that one in.
Yep.
This one you gotta continue to fly it a little bit.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, and that's the way your ag truck's gonna be, or the thrush is a little more forgiving. But you gotta. That's when it really starts, is after you land with this thing or any of these tail draggers. You gotta stay with it
and just forget what you're doing.
Yeah.
I really like that trim. Oh, this is definitely good training. That's for sure.
Yep. I mean, you can do it on the grass all day long. We'll, just for the fun of it today, when we end, we'll end on the grass just to see how it is compared to the runway.
Okay. Well, the first two were pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
Stay a little higher this time, I think.
Power all the way back, all the way back. This would be a good one. We'll bounce, but that's all right. Just pull that back. Just hold that stick back. Don't try to push it forward. You had that just right, Jeremy. But you were slowed down good. All you had to do is bring that stick back. It wasn't gonna raise up on you. No, that was good.
Okay. Try that one more time.
I think that was just right. We're touching down,
so I gotta get used to just pulling that thing in and into place there.
Yeah, I mean you were good. And I'm not quite sure if you were going to try to bring it forward or what, but at that point we were slow enough to where just bring that stick back all the way, then you're good.
Okay.
But no, that was good.
Try her again. The takeoffs are starting to feel good now.
Yeah. No, it'll get better. I mean, you just need to do it. That's all there is to it. You just need to start. Once you get in that ag truck, you can go on the grass and
just
do
get
that.
used to it.
Yeah.
Get it.
Then go on the runway and.
Yeah. All right. Here we go. There's 80. Got enough altitude here. Nose at the numbers. Low power back. All the way back.
All the way back. Yeah. Keep it off as long as you can. As long as you can. Now keep. Here you go. There.
Kick back. Stay on the runway.
Get on your brakes a little bit and just slow it down. It'll. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's the key. Just hold that thing up there as long as you can.
I think if I would have, because I came up a little bit on that one, so.
Well, but a little bit, and if it does start coming up, you can relax your back pressure a little bit, and then once you start flaring again, then just flare again. Then you're going to be that much slower. See, we're touching down just slower, so that to the point where the airplane isn't going to want to fly again.
Yeah, that's kind of.
That first touch might be, have a little speed yet, but like I say, if you just
Overcorrect it, just kind of hold it.
yeah, if you bounce just a little bit and it starts going up, you can relax back pressure a little bit, not a lot, but just be ready to, unless you bounce really high. If you bounce really high, then you got to bring a little bit of power in.
Okay.
Just a little bit to soften the impact. You're going to bring power in, you're going to basically flare again, and then be sure you get, once you're touching down again, power all the way back.
All right, coming in a little hot here. Need some of this.
Oh, that's fine. Just let her slow down.
Power all the way back. Back.
Oh. Whoa.
Jesus.
That's what I've been doing on the grass.
Yeah.
Just see how that goes.
Jeez, that was the worst one yet. Unreal.
You got good, nice directional control on takeoff, and
Yeah, the takeoffs are feeling pretty comfortable.
and I don't know, maybe we should be working a little bit more on the wheel.
On the wheel landings?
Now you got nice directional control on your takeoff. You probably do. It's getting gusty now. I wonder what it. Turn it to AWOS. Let's just see what it is.
Automated weather observation 130 Zulu. Wind 330 at 12 knots. 18 knots.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little.
So it's getting tricky. So let's just do it on the grass.
Okay. It's crazy. You just do a couple good ones, and all of a sudden it'll get away from you.
That's the way it is. That's the way this training is. But when it's starting to get windy, kind of gusty like this, then it's probably better to wheel land it. You're not touching down really so much faster, but you're touching down. You got a little bit better control. Where when you touch down, bounce a little bit, the wind's gonna blow you one way or the other. And so we don't want to be. We want to be coming down with more of a nose down attitude, and then we're gonna pull like we're gonna. Just like we're going to spray, and we still don't, we can still be, we don't have to be 100 or 90, we can still be 80 coming down. We just have to be, you have to start out a little bit higher. You're already getting to kind of a 3-point, not 3-point yet, but.
Trying to get over these here.
Yeah. Got plenty of power on, a little too much power. Just let it settle in, though. Get your power back. Oh, that's going to be a 3-point, but that's all right. You could, I suppose you could have brought it forward, but you're already pretty much in a 3-point.
Yeah, it's I don't know, tricky with you don't have.
But that was fine. Isn't that something? How when you land, I think it's kind of partly psychological. A person psychs himself out about that damn runway, but I mean that was fine there.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. I mean the grass I don't have any problem with.
Yeah,
but. Starting to get a little gusty now, and we'll probably just wait for a better day.
Yep.
Okay. I feel like I keep trying to flare it, instead of having that nose down attitude.
Probably be better for me just to sit in the front sometime and just do it, so I kind of know it's a little bit different sitting in the back here and trying to sitting up and looking. And
well, the runway taking off, I don't have any problem with that. You know, if you do it every day, start to get a little bit better. A little bit better.
Yeah.
I mean, even today was better than yesterday, I think.
But I would say, like on a wheel landing, you'll have a little bit of a tail down, probably attitude by the time you actually touch down. Then when you touch down, then you just ease that stick forward a little bit just to hold your tail up. Then you have a little better control too that way. You know, I mean, just like on your takeoff. You know, and then you just let the airplane slow down, and then when that tail comes down, that's when you'll be slow enough then to where when the tail comes down, then you're going to be, that's when it kind of gets busy. Once that tail comes down and hits the ground, and that's where too you can use your brake a little bit. If you need to use a little brake to, like if it starts going one way or the other, you can use your brake to kind of help on that a little bit. Well, you'll get it. We all started the same way.
All right. Well, I mean, it wasn't too bad overall.
No, it was good. It was fine.
Just had one that was a little questionable.
All right. So what did we learn? You know, I was watching the video. What I noticed is that when I was landing in the grass, I would do a wheel landing. I would keep the tail up and, you know, just have directional control and just let this tail settle in real nicely, and everything seemed to be fine. You know, everything was good. But for some reason, when I transitioned over to the runway, I don't know if I was just intimidated by it or my sight picture wasn't right, but I kept coming in slow and just like 3-point landing it, and then the tail would just get a little bit squirrely. And I would do that every single time. I guess now that I know that, on the next video, the next lesson, which I'll record and make a video of that as well, what I'm gonna really kind of focus on doing is wheel landing that airplane, you know, bringing it in, setting the wheels down, letting the speed just bleed off, letting the tail settle in, and then just applying a little bit of brake and getting that thing stopped. So I'm gonna really focus on that on the next one, and we'll see if we can't get that dialed in. So see you on the next one.